All right, there we go. What is going on? Movie meals. Look at this. There's little Kyle. There's the little guy. Still haven't figured it out. Especially haven't figured it out live. We decided to go live after the Oscars. Who cares if nobody watches? But if you do, you do. Let's get into it. Where did my pen go? Oh, there it is. Let's just talk all the surprises, all the great stuff. I love this dang awards show. Still need a host 2021. Anyway, let's get into it, Kyle. Let's just start with you. What's your first reaction? What's your first thought? What's your first thing you want to talk about?
Parasite.
Man, you're going right to Best Picture. Don't even care about the rest, huh?
I love it, though. I love that they chose correctly for the most part in all these categories. The Oscars.
For the most part.
For the most part, they actually chose all correctly, especially for Parasite. Like, I love the love that it was getting. I knew that it was getting, a whole ton. It's such a great movie, but I just didn't expect it to even win Best Picture. I don't know. I was just so surprised. I don't know. I was just really happy to see it. That's for sure.
So out of the
That's
20,
my biggest takeaway.
Out of the 24, how many did you get right?
I know I got 16. That sounds right. Because there was a lot I got way wrong.
You got 16 correct?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I got 20 out of 24.
Nice.
Lost to Frick Frack and Julie, who got 21 out of 24.
She's too good.
I almost did pick Parasite for Best Picture. I just thought the Academy was going to end up going to 1917, which 1917 did not win a lot. I did have Bong Joon-ho picked for Best Director.
Yeah.
And so I'm just the love for Parasite. I said this in our other review. I think the Oscars are going away. I think they're doing their best to end this stigma of the old man white guy, and I think we've seen it slowly build for a couple of years. And one of the things I've noticed is a lot of people who won were diverse. There was a lot of people of different nationalities. I mean, you're looking at, Hair Love. We're talking Parasite for 15 nominations. We saw different people from different nationalities who worked in the editing area and all this different stuff with hair and makeup, with costume and things like that. And I love that. I think they worked hard. I talked on my podcast last week that they if they end up choosing a movie like Parasite, it does so much for it because it not only, being nominated does so much, but now the fact that you can say this is the movie that won Best Foreign Language Film, Best Picture, Best Director, as well as the couple other ones they won, Best Screenplay. Now all of a sudden all these people are going to go, what is this movie? I need to see this movie. It was all the actors and everybody in Hollywood, the common folk are going to say, what is this movie? I need to see it. Even my mom was saying that. She goes, man, I really do need to see this now. She had curiosity before, but now really invested in wanting to see it, and that's what the Academy can do. I think Parasite winning, even though I didn't guess it correctly, I'm so happy it won, and it was to the point where Bong Joon-ho was saying, like, I don't even have anything left to say. I didn't think I'd continue to win. His love for Marty.
I was wondering that if he was running out of stuff.
His love for Marty was great. He was saying to Marty Scorsese and Quentin and the way they've inspired them, and I really, really loved that. I think Parasite winning, I think it's incredible for moviegoers. It's incredible for the Academy, and great for that movie because it really is incredible. And the more I've thought about it, the more I think had I seen it before we made our list, I think it would have ended up being my number one of the year. I ended up just loving the heck out of it.
Oh, for sure. It definitely would have been in my top 10 as well. I really am upset that we saw it so late. Glad we saw it, though, regardless.
Guys, if you're in the chat, please feel free to comment or leave any questions you have. I do want to bring up, too, that they did pay a little bit homage to some movies that were big snubs. We saw people in the background with Midsummer outfits. We got to see Shia LaBeouf. And the actor who was with him, whose name I'm forgetting because I'm a horrible human. Yes, thank you. That's what Kyle is here for. Seeing that was incredible. That the Academy would let them be there, let them take the time and everything. I just loved that because that movie was still one of my favorites of 2019. We got a little homage to Dolomite Is My Name in the beginning.
I thought that was funny though. There was that pause when they mentioned Dolomite where people were like, "I never saw that movie."
Yeah, for sure. No real shocks. I mean, directing was a big shock. I think a lot of people had Sam Mendes pegged, thought Bong Joon-ho might be able to take it. He ended up winning it. I think that was great.
It was great. Definitely. Well, it wasn't too surprising to me, but I think for some other people it probably was.
No surprises in acting at all. We got
No.
Laura Dern, Brad Pitt, Joaquin, and Renee. I really loved Renee's speech. I thought it was really, really powerful. There were pretty good speeches throughout the whole show.
Joaquin's was great.
I thought
I
Joaquin
love
got a
Joaquin's.
little too political.
It could have been worse.
I think he got a little too political, but his ending was powerful. Watching, you could
Yeah.
see the tears in his eyes forming, talking about his
For-
brother.
For how nutty Joaquin is, or how he tends to be, like that was actually a really great speech. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people were thinking like, "Oh boy, what's he gonna say or do, or what's gonna happen here?" But he actually like really stood out to me.
He
With
lost
that
me a little
speech.
bit in the middle with the speech. I thought I got a little too
With
politics,
the
but
cows.
well, when I thought his speech was nearing its end and he still had another 2 minutes to talk about other things, and yes, they're important
Yeah.
issues. He's got his platform; he can do what he wants. But that was and the speech was fine to me. I just don't think it was the speech of the night. I think it goes to a couple other people out there like a Renee Zellweger or Bong Joon-ho. I think probably had the best speech of the night.
Yeah, some good ones.
Brad Pitt had a great speech early in the show. Laura Dern was great, great as always. We saw Parasite win for original screenplay.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, it really got diverse throughout the rest of the Academy, which I liked.
The screenplays, the ones I wanted to win ended up winning, and I just whiffed.
Apparently, Jojo Rabbit won for adapted, which I thought the
Great.
clear cut, well deserved winner there.
Agreed.
I think it was absolutely fantastic, Jojo Rabbit. I'm still extremely upset about animated feature. I like Toy Story 4. It was not not the best movie of 2019, and that's the only point where I'm sitting here going, "Oh, there's the Academy being safe" to me, because I think Klaus was a much better film, and I Lost My Body was a insanely unique story that I just absolutely loved. Those two were much better than Toy Story 4 to me, and I like Toy Story 4.
Yeah, it was honestly the category that I thought the Academy nailed, like all around. Like all those movies are terrific.
No.
Yeah,
Toy Story
for sure.
4 in every Christmas I can now see myself wanting to sit down and watch Klaus. I don't know when the next time I'll watch Toy Story 4 will be, because I can go, "Oh wait, I got Toy Story 1 and 3 which I like more to watch." Documentary feature went to American Factory, which was great. International went to Parasite. I mean, Parasite won Best Picture and Best... And we didn't even bring this up. Parasite is the first foreign language film to win Best Picture. It is the very first non-English language film to win Best Picture. I think that's incredible. I think that's so amazing, and I absolutely love that they went that direction. I'm gonna jump on my soapbox again. All these anonymous sources coming out saying, "Oh, it should be American people. It should be this." Those are 3 people out of 9,000, and their votes clearly do not matter in the end, because Parasite swept everything. So I think all that stuff is just clicks for websites at this point.
I hope it's not a one and done thing. I hope it's just not. You know what? That's what I'm worried about.
It always just depends on the year.
For now.
This year, Parasite was the clear-cut best movie in an incredibly stacked year. It was the best movie. I mean, next year could very well be a more kind of classic movie that people would say, "Oh, this is the generic choice." But it could also be that movie is just the best movie of all of them. At the end of the day, some years it's not, some years it is. Love Jeffrey Miller, you popping in the chat in there. Love seeing that. Let's see, I did enjoy the tense scenes in Parasite. We did as well. Original score ended up going to Joker. I loved the score tribute they did to all the nominees. I think was such a great way to utilize that. We should mix songs and just put them all together so we can shorten the show. Joker
That's
winning was
original song doesn't matter.
yeah. Score was great. I loved the Joker score. Thought it was well deserved win. You got any thoughts
Yeah,
there?
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
He
I don't have
agrees.
anything else to add.
Original song went to the best song nominated, which was "Love Me Again." We got Elton. Loved Elton. Would have been nice to see Taryn pop in there.
Oh, I kept annoying our friends, being like, "Why isn't Terrence swooping in from a zip line to do a duet with Elton John?" And everyone's like, "Get over it, Kyle."
Yeah, I agree. It would have been cool to see him pop in, but it also might have just been, he could very well be busy shooting a movie. It could be that he
Yeah.
said, "This is about you." Elton wrote this song. I didn't write the song. This is about him. I don't
Yeah.
deserve to be there. That could very well be it. Sound editing is one I got wrong. I thought they were gonna go to. They've had this trend of the same movie winning both sound editing and mixing.
Mhm.
I thought it was going to go 1917. It ended up going to Ford v Ferrari, which was well deserved and
That was
awesome.
that was my next big surprise outside of Parasite, doing as well as it did.
I
For
loved
sure.
that though. Ford v Ferrari was a fantastic movie that got snubbed in some of the bigger categories, and I think that was it was great to see it get an award there.
What other bigger categories outside of Best Picture? Just out of curiosity.
Well, the acting. Christian Bale, Matt Damon, better than both my boys from Two Popes. I'm going to put that out there right now. Like Two Popes.
True, but I mean, at the same time, there's just so many guys, I mean, Eddie Murphy, Taron Egerton, Adam Sandler, even George McKay.
I'd put Adam Sandler over them. I don't think I'd put Eddie Murphy over them, but I would put Adam Sandler. But anyway, Taron, I'd throw in there, but you can easily throw one of those bad boys into supporting. Sound mixing ended up going to 1917. Well deserved. Thought the mixing in that movie was great. Makeup went to Bombshell, which is what I had chose.
Not surprising at all.
Great choice. Costume design, Little Women, which was the pick I had.
That was actually surprising to me.
You were surprised about Little Women, huh? You're not a big fan of the Little Women.
I ended up being way more a fan of Little Women than I ever thought I would. I'll admit that for sure. But I was surprised though. I thought that was going to go to Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time did end up winning production design, which I thought was a big contender. I had 1917 pegged for that, but Once Upon a Time was well deserved. Seeing it get some love there, I absolutely loved that. Costume design, Little Women, cinematography went to the man Roger Deakins.
That was great. Yeah.
They said Roger Deakins has 15 nominations. He's won twice, both of them the last 2 years. He's an incredible cinematographer with an amazing eye. Love seeing him on all of Denis' movies and whatnot. Film editing went to Ford v Ferrari. Thought that was my choice. Great pick. I think that was the pick to make there.
What do you mean?
Ford v Ferrari I thought was the best edited film.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Visual effects. I've been saying this over and over. I picked 1917. 1917 won. But this is the only one where hearing the masses, hearing what critics are saying and pundits are saying, actually really swayed me to not go with what I really would have thought. Because normally I would have picked an Avengers Endgame, and I ended up getting the correct answer. But when you think of visual effects, you don't think of a movie like a 1917. You think of the movies you hear about, like The Irishman, where they're doing all this crazy de-aging, where it's Avengers and Star Wars, where they have aliens and lightsabers and all this crazy battles and heavy visual effects. You think those are the best ones. It ends up going to a more subtle film with 1917. Powerful movie, great movie. You got any thoughts there? Visual effects?
It wasn't surprising to me at all. I did think the Academy was going to go with 1917 for being more subtle with its visual effects over the other ones that are like blockbusters that are really visual effects heavy. I mean, the fanboy in me wanted Avengers Endgame to win, but I wasn't too surprised by 1917.
Yeah, with you there. All the shorts, great to see, or the documentary short subject, short film, live action, and animated. Great to see. I watched a couple of them. Hair Love was fantastic. I need to see Learning to Skateboard in a War Zone. And The Neighbor's Window, but they were. I'm excited to check them out after their nominations as well as the other nominees.
Sure. Yeah. I didn't know very much, so it was just great seeing people being happy for the wins.
You got any more things you want to bring up? Because I've got one thing.
While I'm thinking, let me hear what you had to say.
Well, let's just go to the biggest surprise of the night, which was Eminem showing up out of nowhere to rap.
Everyone that I was with was just like, why are they showing 8 Mile this long in that montage? And then Eminem just pops out.
Yeah, it was interesting because they did poke fun of it at the end, but they did have a lot of weird times where somebody was introducing someone who was going to introduce somebody else. Happened a few times. The guy from Hamilton who introduced Lin-Manuel was very exciting to me. When Lin came out, I was sitting there thinking, what? This has got to be for another song. Was he a producer on a song I'm not aware of? And then he just starts talking about how important music is to film. And I'm like, all right, is he going to bust out in something? Like, what's going to happen? And then we get a montage. I'm sitting there thinking, oh, this is great. This is a great thing to promote. We've got this great montage, and then we get a little we like Kyle said, we get a little hold on 8 Mile, and I remember my sister who was watching with us just goes, I think they're gonna bring Eminem out of nowhere, and they do, and it's incredible. I loved it. I loved it so much. And my sister had looked up all this stuff that Eminem right after had tweeted, like, thank you, Academy. It took me 18 years to get here. And then I guess, so he was in rehab when he was nominated. So he was not able to perform. And now 18 years too late, they're giving him his opportunity to come out and perform his song that ended up winning for Best Original Song. And I love oh whoa, my sister here's in the chat and just poked in and said she was wrong. He didn't think he'd win, so he didn't go. Oh, he was not in rehab. Oh, that's a little harsh to do. Okay, well, all right. Well, thank you for that correction.
So wait, what was it? I didn't catch the full thing.
So M originally didn't go because he didn't think he would win. That rappers don't win. So he must have not thought he wasn't going to win, so he didn't go, and then they invited him back to perform. Either way, it's amazing. Too late to have him there to perform. They could have done this before. I will say my favorite part about it, though, was that they did not announce this. That this was a complete and total surprise to everybody, especially Billie Eilish, who looked... Have you seen that trending on Twitter?
No, I didn't catch it.
Billie Eilish's face during Eminem coming up out of nowhere is pretty funny. And there's an image going around of Martin Scorsese and his daughter looking like they're ready to fall asleep.
Oh, yeah. I saw the glimpse of Scorsese, and I was like, this is not his cup of tea.
Woof.
He is not a fan of Eminem.
Oh, you know his daughter was just baffled. Her favorite rapper was there bumping. Like, she's ready to party. Like, I think it's amazing. I thought that was one of the coolest things to give recognition. You're at 92 years to go back and give him an opportunity to do that. I loved it.
What year did 3 6 Mafia win for Best Original Song? Was that must have been after Eminem?
I have no clue.
And 8 Mile.
What movie were they for?
Oh shoot!
Don't come at me with your raps, Kyle.
I'm forgetting.
Says the guy seeing Hamilton.
I'm forgetting what the movie was. I think it was. Oh shoot! What was the name of the song now? Something about a pimp. I don't know. I'm white. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the timeline of like when they got the win, but Eminem didn't.
Well,
I'd have to look that up.
Why don't you look it up and comment on our own video and let the viewers know? Anyway, yeah, Eminem showing up was great. Parasite's the big takeaway. I did lose money tonight, but it is a bummer. At least I was contending. Kyle wasn't in the... What?
2006, they won for It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp. That's right.
What was the movie it was in?
It was for... shoot, what? Here, hold on. I'll look for it in a minute.
Oh, we just got my sister. It's for Hard Out Here for a Pimp. Just put it in the chat for you.
Hustle and Flow. It was for
Hustle and Flow. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you.
Anything else you want to talk about for the night? Great speeches all around. Great show. Ended about what? 9, a little after 9:15. About three, almost 3.5 hours. That's about what they. What's up, Dave? What they tend to go to. Overall, a pretty good show. I really liked the opening monologue with Steve Martin and Chris Rock, they would have been fantastic hosts throughout the show. I got my monologue though. I like when comedians come out and roast the celebrities, so I ended up getting that. The cats thing was very funny. I thought that was one of the best bits of the night. Did you mute over there? What happened to you? You just look like you just.
No, I was just listening to you. I don't know. I had nothing else to add.
I thought the cats bit was pretty funny. Lots of great bits. They did try to end the show when they played off. They were starting to play off Parasite, and then the whole crowd started going nuts. Did you hear that at the very end? And then they showed Tom Hanks and Margot Robbie, and everybody's just saying, "Get up! Let's put the lights back up."
Oh, I thought
Loved
the
that.
lights just went out. I didn't know they were playing them out at all.
They weren't playing them off, but they thought the speech was over, so they were shutting down the show because the show was ending. And when they realized that somebody was coming up to give a speech and the crowd was trying to let them, they went back to it because they had kind of zeroed in on Jane Fonda, who was supposed to wrap it up. But anyway, the show was great. I love the Academy Awards. It's always one of my favorite Sundays of the year. I just love sitting down and getting to recognize cinema, and just it's the best part. It's recognizing these amazing movies, and that's amazing. Still at snubs though. I'm looking at you, Honey Boy, and Peanut Butter Falcon and Midsommar. All them snubs are doing my boys and my girls dirty like you do every dang year. Doing Tony Stark dirty. You didn't do Rise of Skywalker dirty. To be honest, you were a little generous. Taking shots.
Yeah.
Farewell as well.
Okay.
Sorry, you go.
I don't know. I was just gonna say, like, the Oscars, I don't love them as much as you do. I think that, like, sways me for movies or nothing, but at least, like, they did get some pretty awesome wins here, that's for sure.
Yeah, man, Parasite winning was so great. Those reactions were so honest and true, and that was amazing. I mean, it won, how many did it win? Parasite won 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 4 awards.
5? Where am I getting 5?
Looks like 4. I've got 4.
Okay.
Parasite, Foreign Language Director, Best Picture, and Best Original Screenplay. I love it. I think that's amazing. I think, 4. Thank you, Jeffrey Miller, for also doing that fact-checking. Jeffrey, big friend of the Movie Meals. Love it. Share us around.
He's a heck of a bro.
True. Lots of good speeches throughout. Another good day. Can't wait to get into arguments about hosts again in a year, Kyle.
Yeah.
we gotta take a year off, and then we'll get back to it.
A year's not enough, my friend.
I'm gonna tell a quick story. You and I can get into some pretty heated debates. This year we got into some heated debates about sports, where we're ticking each other off. We're getting a little salty, but I don't think we've had any two bigger debates than yes, Dave, agree. Taika Waititi winning screenplay was awesome. Agree with that. But we have not had bigger debates than I think Fast and Furious trailers and hosts at the Oscars. I think they've been our biggest tests of our 19-year friendship we've had. It's been this two little thing. It's to the point where, like, if it starts up, I get too furious. I gotta bail.
No, agreed. It's how we test our friendship, how true it is if we don't get on each other's nerves so much that it breaks us apart.
If one day that's it, there's gonna be an epic tale our grandchildren tell each other where it's like they finally cracked on the Oscar host thing.
The greatest friendship ever was destroyed by Fast and Furious.
By Fast and Furious 26. All right. Anyway, let's wrap up here. Another great video, another great show, guys. Thank you for watching. Watch us back on the playback. Remember to share us around. Follow. He doesn't do the tweeters, but I do. Movie Meal Al. Follow me. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.